Good morning. It is 9:07 and I still haven't left yet. I definitely plan on getting up at 6, and then I woke up at like 5, and then I fell back asleep because I was like, this is ridiculous. I did not fall asleep early enough last night for this, and I am not ready to go. I also slept on the floor, so I didn't get the best quality sleep. It was a mistake, but, I didn't have my bed made. I guess I could have slept with my roommates or something, or a couch even would have been better. But I did sleep all right. I got enough sleep. I fell into this weird, I don't know. I want to move past this, past I had with, the eating disorder and stuff, but it's really hard when there's so much on social media with, recovery and so many YouTube channels and YouTubers that really promote, hey, let's be healthy about this. And I'm watching those videos that were, advice I would have needed a few years ago. I feel like I'm keeping myself stuck, I feel like I'm keeping that part of it alive that just needs to be done. I know I'm going to consciously have to be fighting this season since both my parents tend to fall into some kind of, trendy diet is usually something that's going on, and I'm going to have to consciously be like, no, I want the full normal sugar cookies, not your keto ones. Can we make some normal sugar cookies that aren't healthy? Please. I would prefer that, and I think that would help me to have a better relationship with my body. But yeah, it's hard when they just don't understand the kind of things that can be difficult to work through. But I'm also going to be, so I think part of it is just I'm nervous about releasing these habits, and being home, especially alone, I have so much control over how I spend every moment and what I can do, what I can cook, and all that stuff. And I'm really glad I got Chipotle last night because I was starting to feel really over controlling, and it was that kind of thinking again of I can't eat Chipotle. They put oil in their, they put oil in their rice and other things that oh, it's higher calorie. It's not necessarily the healthiest food ever, but it's just Chipotle. It's not McDonald's, it's not anything too crazy. And so I just found myself having to really fight my own mind to go to Chipotle and order that burrito bowl. And obviously it's more expensive than making something at home that would be healthier meaning lower calorie. And yeah, it was a little battle last night. So I was just feeling myself pulled again, and I had to consciously fight that and surrender stuff again. I don't know. I think anytime you're not consciously going in a positive direction, you're gonna get off track somehow. So I don't know. There's a lot of benefits, I think, to staying conscious of it without falling back into allowing it to be a big part of my identity, because that's not something that I want to identify with. It is a fact that's something that I struggled with in the past, and it's something that I have to be conscious of not allowing in my life again. But apart from that, I don't want to let it have any kind of say in how I act, because that's still allowing myself to be controlled by it. Even if I'm doing all the right things, right things in quotes, if I'm still being driven by that, whether it's the opposite or towards it, that's still being controlled by that. And I really don't want to be. I really don't want that to let that be a part of me. So, I don't know. That's a bunch of stuff I'm thinking about this morning. I am running late. I also realized I should probably get the people I'm staying with a Christmas present, because I'm, staying with them for the next couple weeks. I don't know where to get it from, but I'm probably going to try and grab them something. So the next stop is going to be washing these dishes. But then after that, I'm taking the trash out. And then I'm going to go to a coffee shop, grab some coffee to go, and buy some of their whole bean coffee, because they have the best whole bean coffee there. And then head out, start going on the road. So it's gonna be probably 8.5 hour drive. Bert's gonna be slow. He's gonna be a slow one today. My car is named Bert. He's got his check engine light on still, so we're gonna be very gentle with him. I don't want him to go kaput, so I'd rather have a slower, longer journey than an interrupted one halfway through, where either an accident or something like that. So slow and careful is my motto for today. Slow and steady. I've already downloaded a bunch of Tim Keller sermons, so I've got some food for thought as I'm going on the road, things that will keep me humble and convicted and keep my mind in the right place so I don't get caught up in just overthinking and what tends to be a very difficult drive going home, grieving things, and it's just going to be a hard battle because I know in my own mind, the last time I drove home, I was in a relationship with someone, and we've since broken up, and I haven't been home since. So it's going to be like a conscious little battle there, trying to not allow those thoughts to control me, and I want to be honoring to those things. Also, I just got a text as I was recording this that one of the books I put on hold at the library is available for pickup, so I might go snatch that. It's a 10-minute drive from here, so it's not like a huge out of the way, and it's kind of on the way to that coffee shop too, so just go grab my book, head over to that coffee shop, and then hit the road for real. So that is the plan for this morning. I'm taking my time because I don't have anything else to do today. I'm expected after 6:30 and not really before then, so I'm not in a rush to get home. I'll see how it goes. I'll feel it out, but I will be hitting the road soon. So I am all packed up in my car. I have a couple more things to bring out with me and the trash still to take out. I was doing some mapping stuff, and it looks like adding the library would be a lot more driving, plus the people there there's a lot of busy roads, so I already have a bunch of books to read. I'll just get this one later. It's still gonna be out there. I can just get it back later. So that is the plan for now. I am going to get some gas first thing and then stop at Parable on the way out and then head straight from there. So it's gonna be a long day, but a good one, I think. Lots of good worship music too I'm gonna download, and just have a nice mind clearing kind of time is the goal. Hopefully the car acts well, and I'm praying that everything is peaceful and good, and lots of people are out there like thinking about this trip and keeping me in mind and all that good stuff. So okay, well, I should probably head out. Ready to go. First stop done, bathroom break, and now we're back on the road. Saw the cutest puppy. It's so cute. But I've stopped at one little rest stop just now, and gonna get back on the road. We've got around 7 more hours to go, it looks like. So we're gonna take our time with it. I'm not too hungry yet, so I'm not really gonna eat anything, but probably gonna drink a little water and then hit the road. I'm switching over to some sermons. I've been listening to Courtney Barnett so far, and that has been good, but I'm kind of needing a little break from music, so I'm gonna get to listen to those Tim Keller sermons that I've downloaded. So I'm ready to get going. I'm excited. This is the third stop. I really had to pee, and it came at the exact right time. Just a normal, a truck stop. So I got some almonds, and I am feeling good. I'm gonna eat some before I start driving, so I'm not eating while I'm driving. It seems risky. I should have a couple more hours left to go, so that's been cranking along. The car is going great, no problems so far. I also had a couple thoughts. So I listened to a few sermons today, and one of them was pointing out that hatred is really just wanting someone's failure. That blew my mind. Like, realizing that the whole time I thought I was like, okay, well, hate is like when you attack someone and scream them and you act on it. I didn't realize how much I've been wanting other people's failure and like how destructive that's been for my own relationships with them or relationships with myself. Because wanting other people's destruction is self-destructive. Like, you can't isolate the two, because the truth is we're all like, it's cheesy to say, but we're all in this together. Like, we really are. And it's wanting each other's success and wanting everyone's success that really makes you the most confident, makes you the kindest person, and really just makes you more loving to yourself and the world. Like, wanting other people's success
is such an important part of self-care. Like, your mental health is going to skyrocket if you're just wishing for other people to be happy. Suddenly you're going to be so much happier. And when you actually act on that too, it's like 10 times better. Like, it's so good. Yeah, and I think too, even like, that is how you change, that's how you change people, right? It's when you accept them and love them and see good in them. And it's really only possible when you have a right relationship with yourself, or a right relationship with something even more important, so that you can kind of see, okay, you know, in the grand scheme of things, this person's success really benefits me too. Or in this grand scheme of things, like, me hating this person is really just me hating part of myself. Because I think people say, you know, we cringe at the parts of ourselves we have yet to conclude or have yet to accept. I think we can also hate other people, hate the parts of ourselves we can't accept. Or, like, it's the same kind of idea. Like, the parts of other people that we hate, we also hate that in ourselves. And that's, like, hating ourselves too is just so unhealthy and so unproductive. So I've been thinking about that lately, because I realized that, like, there's actually quite a few people that I've, like, unintentionally been hating, in this, like, passive way of being like, you know, I don't really want their success, or even just mentally. And I'm, like, trying to consciously fight that. And even when I do actually think it, I'm consciously being like, no, you know, I don't really want that to happen. I want what's good for them. I want them to be happy. And that applies to everyone, including the people that I find very, very difficult to feel that about. I have to want their success, because if I don't want success for everyone, like, I can't really fairly say I want it for anyone. It's the same idea. I mean, there's obviously people that I want their success means that they are in a safe place where they can't harm other people too. Because harming other people is dangerous for themselves and their own souls. That is, like, I'm all over the place with these thoughts. I'm also, like, shaky because I'm really hungry and I haven't eaten anything in a few hours. So I'm gonna eat a little bit and then I will hit the road. But that is what I've been thinking about on the drive. So I just want to be able to be more compassionate and more kind, and to genuinely invest in other people and in encouragement and hope for the future, and honoring my family and honoring my parents, being that, like, voice of love and voice of life when it feels like there's not a whole lot of that. So I'm feeling good so far, but it's still, like, I'm hungry, so I'm, like, shaking a little. But yeah, feeling good. I'm also, like, it's a very nice time to be, like, retrospective. So it's like I can see all the ways that I've failed to love other people, and not just in, like, relationships, but in, like, friendships and other aspects. I'm like, oh, I owe a few people some pretty big apologies, or at least the apology of a changed life. So that is, my mind has been all over the place, but that is the overall message, is just, like, hatred of other people is self-destructive, but hatred looks different from just yelling at people and looking, like, yelling at them and actively acting on your hatred. Hatred is also just wanting other people's failure, even if it's just other people's embarrassment. Like, it's so humbling, because the truth of the matter is I'm equal with them. Like, I'm just the same as everyone that I've ever disliked, or it's hard to use that word, but hated. I'm just the same as them, if not those parts of me even that I hate are the same thing that I have too. So anyway, random thoughts, but it's good. So one other thought, and that is the way that I'm doing this road trip is very intentionally restful. Very intentionally allowing both the car to rest and me, and going to the bathroom when I need to, taking care of myself throughout the process. A lot of people that I've done road trips with neglect themselves while they're driving. And it's all about getting there fastest. But enjoying the process for me means making the process enjoyable. That means going the slightly shorter distance, even if I have to pay a toll. It means getting to see these beautiful, beautiful purple mountains right now, and having a little time to just look at them and think that they're wonderful. I feel like that's part of what makes the trip sustainable. You can do a 4-hour trip maybe in one sitting. This is an 8-hour trip, okay? I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna freaking take my time. It's enjoyable and it's fun, and I'm going to enjoy it. So anyway, that is it for me right now. I'm gonna keep working on these almonds, and I will catch you later. I meant to say self-neglect is not something to be proud of. Self-neglect is not something to be proud of, and it does not prove your strength. It doesn't prove anything except for your ability to ignore your own needs. Whether those were things pushed on you by your parents or other people, or, events that you've been through where you had to neglect yourself, putting yourself in situations where you're neglecting yourself now is self-destructive. And it's not going to make anything better, and it's just going to make everyone more hurt by anything than anything. So don't brag about self-neglect, and don't ever put other people down for taking care of themselves. So taking care of yourself is not weakness. It is preparing yourself for strength. It is preparing yourself for endurance. You don't put yourself in the worst possible situation. If I was running a race, I wouldn't want to put on dress shoes. I just wouldn't be able to finish. It wouldn't be sustainable. The same thing goes with other aspects of life. You shouldn't be proud of the ways you ignore yourself and put yourself down, because that's just makes it unsustainable, just like wearing high heels during a 10K or something. So that's also been on my mind. Also, one more thought, because I wasn't able to post it in another video that I said this in. Your confidence doesn't take away from anyone else's. And if it does, it's not really confidence. That's just, a self-obsession or a false perception of things. Other people's happiness doesn't take away from yours. That is not how this works. There's not a shortage of happiness in the world. There's, actually there is, kind of, because there's too few people with it, but there is not a shortage of the amount of happiness that exists, or the amount of people that can be healthy and wealthy and wise, There is no shortage of that, and I think if we can get rid of a scarcity mindset with it, and seek to give what we have instead of withhold it to protect ourselves, then, that obviously is from a place of great security, financially, emotionally, all of that, but we will reach a much more healthy place as a society. But my confidence doesn't come from the fact that other people aren't confident. My confidence comes from the fact that I am somebody who is worthy of love, worthy of having nice things, but not necessarily that I'm more worthy than anyone else. It's just that I exist.
Yeah, I will be hanging out with some of my family today. My sister's coming in